Hello, today I'm going to do a review on Winsor Newton Cotman pans. This is the Sketches Pocket Box and Daler Rowney Simply Watercolour Pocket Set. Now they're both really nice little sets, but I do have a preference, so I'll just show you the difference between the two, and then you can see. So first of all, I'm going to use the Winsor Newton Lemon Yellow. Now I find this one does need quite a bit of water and quite a lot of scrubbing to get the colour up. I'm going to really put lots on there so you can see it at its deepest and most vibrance. I'll just get some more on there. Okay, so there, that's about as dark and juicy as it goes. I'll make sure I rinse my brush really thoroughly so you don't get any transferred onto the Daler Rowney, otherwise you won't be able to tell the difference. And also with the Daler Rowney, they're just so good. Just a little touch like that and the paint comes right off straight away. And I actually find these ones to be really good. You can see straight away the difference in the depth of the colour. This is almost fluoro, it's so vibrant. And the colour, it just seems to have a lot more pigment, and it does come off the little pan really easily. So next I will use the cadmium yellow hue. This is the Winsor Newton. You really do need to put a lot of water on these, I find. So it goes on okay, it's quite nice. I'll just put it on as thick and deep as I can so you can really see it at its full potential. Okay, now I don't have a cadmium yellow hue in here. These two sets, they do have some the same, but they also have different ones. This one has got a gamboge hue instead of the cadmium yellow hue. So I will use the gamboge. We'll just compare it with the gamboge. So that's not really a comparison because they are two different colours, but I'll just use it anyway. As you can see, that goes on beautifully as well. It's really rich and deep. Doesn't take much effort at all, just a little dab in there and goes on beautifully. It's a shame I don't have the cadmium yellow because that would be a really good comparison. Anyway, I'll do the ones where they do have the same. So next I will do cadmium pale red. This is the Winsor Newton. I'll get as much as I can on there. It's a nice colour. So that's the cadmium red pale. And this one doesn't have a cadmium red pale either. This has got a vermilion hue. Well, I'll put that on instead, but that's not going to give you a comparison of the two really, but I'll put it on just so you can see the different colours. Oh, look at that, it's lovely. You can just see the quality in these is just really nice. It's just so thick and lovely. I don't know about you, but I think this is absolutely mouth-watering. So there is a difference in the quality there. Okay, we do have a Viridian hue, Viridian green hue in both of these, so I'm going to use the Winsor Newton one first. I've got lots on there. Now this is a very, very strong colour anyway, so there shouldn't be too much difference, but we'll have a look. That's about as strong as it will go on. That's its full depth of colour there. A good rinse. Now I will do the Viridian hue in the Daler Rowney. Now these little Daler Rowney Simply ones, these are the absolute cheapest ones they do. So this is for the beginners, but in my opinion I think they are easily suitable for the advanced painter. But oh, that's gorgeous. It's a really nice colour. I'll just put some more water on. See, that goes on that's just really, really nice. Really dark. And these just lift off the pans. The colour lifts off so well. You don't really have to scrub it. Just a little bit of water and they're loose. I'll just put a bit more on that Winsor Newton. See if I can darken it up. But I did actually put it on as thick as I could get it. But I'll have another go. Just to make sure. Okay, really soak that in there now. Well, I still think that the Daler Rowney is the best, but whatever you prefer, I suppose. Some people might prefer I think there's slightly different texture. But that might be because the pigment, that Daler Rowney might actually have more pigment in it, even though that is the real cheapest beginner's set. That is really, really good. So now we will try the alizarin crimson. First of all, in the Winsor Newton, lots of water on. Again, that's a nice strong colour, so you shouldn't need too much. So, oh no, that's really weak, and I actually soaked that. And I find that since the Winsor & Newton have started making them in China, they've been doing it for quite a while now, but I only found out very recently, because I was using these and I thought, they just don't seem right, so I looked on the packet and I saw that they were made in China. And I actually did contact the company several times, and they were very nice, and they did reply, but they said that yes, they are made in China now, but they assured me of their quality. But I just don't agree. So I told them, I emailed them back and I said to them they definitely are not up to the standard that they should be. So they just said they would pass on the my information to the relevant people. So we'll see. And then I'll try the alizarin crimson in the Daler Rowney. It doesn't need half as much water as the other. It's really, really thick. So there, I think you should be able to see a difference. There's a difference in colour as well, but that's nothing unusual considering they're different brands. But again, it's the colour, it's the actual quality of the paint that I think you'll probably notice the difference in. So next we have burnt sienna. First of all, I'll use the burnt sienna in the Winsor Newton. Again, it takes quite a lot of scrubbing, and I actually did dampen these before I started this little review, just to make sure that the paint was loose and comes off easy, but it really isn't coming off that easy at all, to be honest. So anyway, that's the, get it on as thick as we can, that's the burnt sienna. Next up we will try the sap green. First of all in the Winsor Newton, I've really put a big puddle of water in there. It does seem actually seem rather weak, it really does. They're not like they were before they were started, well, when they were made in England. They were really, really good quality, but then most things that are made in England are quite good quality. That's as dark as it will go. I'm actually putting it quite thick on the brush as well, so that's definitely as dark as it goes. And we'll try the sap green on the Daler Rowney. You can see when I just touch, I don't know if you can actually see that. This was actually dry, this pan, but when I just touch that on there, and it instantly lifts out the colour. They're just really, really nice paints. Oh, look at that. There is a big difference. That's beautiful. Slightly different colours, but the quality in the Daler Rowney is, I think, far superior to the Winsor Newton, which it's really sad because I really did like Winsor Newton. It's only after I bought about 100 tubes online and I realised that the paint just wasn't different, it just wasn't the same, that I realised that they were made in China. But by then it was too late, I'd already bought them. I mean, they're okay, but they're not fantastic. So next up, I've got two different blues here. I've got an intense blue, which is also phthalo blue. That's in the Winsor Newton. So that's this one here. Now that's quite a dark blue, I think. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a really nice blue. That's lovely. That's gorgeous. That one's really beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. And I have here on the Daler Rowney a Prussian blue, which is also a very, very strong blue. But just so you can see how they go on, they're different, completely different colours. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? That is just so gorgeous. That just lifts off. You don't have to keep soaking it like if you, I don't know if you can see. Whoops, just knocked the camera. With these ones, this was a new set, and I've had to really dig into those and make little holes in them. And I've actually used up quite a lot of pigment, but I really haven't got much pigment on the paper. Whereas these, you just touch it. Got beautiful pigment. Look how strong that is. It's beautiful. Okay, so oh, by the way, these little. Oh, did you see that? That was clever, wasn't it? Just stop that bit there. We'll cut that bit. This little Winsor Newton set, is a sweet little set. It's nice quality. The case is nice and it's a bit sturdy. It feels a bit sturdier than that plastic. But it also comes with this really cute little brush. It feels really nice too. It doesn't feel too cheap. It actually feels quite nice. Anyway, back to what I was showing you. So next up is the yellow ochre. Just have to rinse this brush really well because it's got a bit of blue stuff in it. Yeah, it's clean. It's nice and clean. So next up, yellow ochre. This is the Winsor Newton. That's as wet as it will go and pick up the most pigment, so it's probably not going to get any stronger or juicier than that. You can see it's actually quite opaque. I think I've got just enough room left on the page to show you the same colour in the Daler Rowney. So this is the yellow ochre in the Daler Rowney. I haven't used it before, this is new. Look at that, instantly. Beautiful. That is really nice and saturated. That's a really nice really thick and creamy actually. Very similar in colour. I can't see any difference in the actual shade. I think these are both really quite good. These are both good quality, but I do think the Daler Rowney is again my favourite. Not got much room left to paint there. Now the Winsor Newton doesn't have a black, whereas the Daler Rowney does. So I'll just put a little bit of black down so you can see. I actually haven't used that either, so I don't know how it's going to go on. Just brush it up here. So that goes on really nicely too. I probably did put a bit too much water in that, but it does go on really nice. You just feel the way it comes off the brush. It actually feels really nice. So I'll show you the burnt umber in the Winsor Newton. There is not one in the Daler Rowney. For some reason I don't have a burnt umber, but this is burnt umber in Winsor Newton. I'll just put it up here. Again, it's not very, the pigment is just not very dense. And I haven't got too much water, that's coming off quite thick now. But I suppose it's nice and transparent, but you can see that it's okay. And as for the whites, probably isn't any point in showing you the whites. Well, oh, I see. Winsor Newton's got a white one and Daler Rowney's got a black one. So, anyway, that's the comparison of the two. Now, I definitely think that the Daler Rowney are the best. The Daler Rowney are the ones on the right of each colour. So those two blues are different shades, but the Daler Rowney's on the right. And that one too, that's the Daler Rowney. So I will do a little demonstration. I will do a little painting in each, and then you can see the difference. So, oh, look at that. That's really nice. It's come out really nice. Oh, that's actually really thick. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, I will just do a little painting for you, and then you can actually see what they're like. Actually, I just made a mistake with that one. That was not burnt umber. My little pans were actually in the wrong place. I actually showed you burnt sienna again on that one. So I will now show you, I'll tell you what, we'll just disregard that one. Just scrub it out. Cross on it, there you go. It's still wet, so it's a bit smudgy. Anyway, I'll show you the burnt umber in the Winsor Newton, which is this one here. Don't know where I'm going to put it, I'll just put it in here. So this is the burnt umber, Winsor Newton. It's okay. That's quite nice actually, yeah, that's okay. And I can't compare it with one of the Daler Rowney because they don't have it in this set. They do one, but not in this set. So just disregard that. That's a boo-boo. There we go. Just disregard that. And I will paint a little painting in each, one in Daler Rowney and one in Winsor Newton, and you can just see how they come out. And it does state quite clearly on the back that these are made in England. I don't know if you can pick that up. Just there it says made in England, and these are really, really nice paints. So I'll leave it up to you. You can decide which ones you like best. I mean, each have got their own pros and cons, but because they have different colours in each set as well, it's a bit difficult to really compare the actual things. So anyway, and this one, it actually does say, where is it? There. It says made in China. I like these ones so much. I've actually bought another 4 packets of these, the Simply ones, and I've bought some Aquafine in a round tin, and I've also bought some tubes, but I will do some reviews on those as well coming up soon. But for now, I'm going to just do a little painting and compare these two. Okay, so I've just drawn a silly little picture. It's not really in perspective, it's purely just to show you the colours of the different brands. So it's just a couple of little tower blocks or something, or whatever, just a little picture. So I'm going to try not to mix the colours so that you can see what they look like. that'll do. For the trunks in those trees, I didn't use anything particular. I just, because I didn't have the same colours as in that, I didn't have burnt umber. So I just used a couple of dark colours that were in the palette, like the Prussian blue and the burnt sienna with a bit of alizarin. Just did a little bit of that. But that gives you the general idea. You can sort of see there is a difference. Personally, I like the Daler Rowney, although the Winsor Newton is still very good. And they actually do cost roughly the same for each of these, for the Winsor Newton and the Daler Rowney. They do cost the same. These are my favourites, so next time I will probably do a review on the Winsor Newton Cotman tubes and the Daler Rowney Simply tubes, so that we can compare the tubes. Well, I hope that was informative, and thank you for watching.